What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Six Spoke Studios. As you guys can see, we got the Subi behind me. We're going to be doing an update video on it because I've owned it for approximately about a year now, and I want to tell you guys everything that I've done to it so far, everything I like about it, and everything that I dislike about it. So that way, if anybody's interested in buying a Subi, especially a Crosstrek as their first car, well, I'll let you guys make up your mind at the end. But hopefully you guys enjoyed today's episode, and let's get started. Alrighty, so as you guys can see, this is a 2018 Subaru Crosstrek. I have done a few things to it. First and foremost, as you guys can see, we actually changed out the wheels. So these are 17s by 8s, I believe, wrapped in a 225 55 17-inch tire. They're also the Falcon Wild Peak tires. The reason I went with these wheels actually is just out of pure luck. I had a friend that was actually selling her car, and she had these exact wheels on her car. Cost her about $2,000 just literally about half a year ago, and she sold it to me for $800. She actually was going to give it to me for my trade as my stocks, but I felt really bad, and I feel like that's taking advantage of someone, so I went ahead and just gave her $800, which I think is a steal for these wheels because they're only 6 months old. And as you can see, they have a lot of thread left, practically brand new tires, and I needed new tires for this car anyways, so I figured why not, might as well make the investment. Also, a couple of other things that we have done. We have an Amazon roof rack. Used this for a trip that I took to Wyoming last year. Cost me about $100. I also bought the Amazon crossbars, as you guys can see right there. Cost me about another, I think, like $60-$70. So not too bad. I think it gives the car a really good look. If you guys take a look on the back, we actually have some vinyl stickers. These are all from Premium Auto Styling, so a huge shout out to them. I've always used their products in the past. Definitely do recommend. I'll link their website down below in case you guys are interested. But if you guys take a look, this is one of my favorite ones. It actually lights up when you hit the brake light. You also have the hexagon reverse lights vinyl wrap. Really, really, really nice. We also have this one right here, which is a more subtle look. And this I think is one of people's favorites because you don't notice it until you actually see it. And the cool thing is when you, especially if you're out on dirt roads like this, when the dust kicks up, it actually like covers this in a layer of dust, and you can see it a lot more. So it looks really cool. We also have another vinyl overlay back here. So this one doesn't light up, but when the car lights actually hit the back of it, it actually makes it go red. So it looks really cool overall as well. One of my personal favorites. We have a National Park Geek sticker. I got this, I think, at the Pinnacles, if I remember correctly. So really like that sticker as well. We also have an exhaust system on this car. So we actually have a Crawford exhaust. Cool story about this too. Found this on the OfferUp. Practically brand new, still in the box. The guy had it on for I think like 3 or 4 months before I realized that it was way too loud for his liking. And it actually is a loud exhaust. Here, I'll show you guys actually real quick. So I'm going to turn on the car. So as you guys can see, it actually gives it that Subi rumble, which I actually enjoy a lot. Only thing about this car is when you turn it on, especially on the cold start, it is really loud. So your neighbors are probably going to hate you for that. I know mine probably do, which is why I try to turn it on, put it into drive, and drive it down the street to where I can let it idle for another minute or two, up until that Subi rumble goes away. Because the interesting thing about these cars is that idle really high for like the first minute to two before the idling goes away. And it just revs at a low RPM, so it's really weird, but I'll try to see if I can show you guys in this video of it idling back down to like a lower RPM. So as you guys can see there, it idled back down to a regular lower RPM. That's the only thing I dislike about this car actually, is it revs really high for the first minute or two before it lowers back down. But overall, I really like this exhaust. It is a lot of fun to play with, especially when you're going down hills. We can shift between the gears using the paddle shifters, which is another cool thing I like about this vehicle, is it has paddle shifters, so you can play around with it a lot. Makes some really cool noises as you're going through the canyons and stuff, so definitely do enjoy it. And if you guys take a look, there is that mountain that lights up. We also replaced the rear brake lights and the rear tail lights with LEDs, so they're a lot brighter, especially at night. So now if we take it back to the front of the car, as you guys can see, we actually have some spotlights located right up front right there. The brackets for this go mounted under the hood brackets. And I believe this one is from Diodoids, that bracket right there. This spotlight is from like Best Buy, I believe. Bought it for super cheap, needed something on the go. So threw those on, but eventually I do want to swap them out for the diodoid ones, the spotlights. I believe it's like the SRs somethings. I forget the name of them. At the front of the vehicle, as you guys can see, we have overlays again. We have vinyl yellow tint for the fog lights. I think they look really cool, and I love the way they look on Subis, so went ahead and added those. We also have some Tacoma, like I forgot what they're called, the Tacoma grill lights. Ended up putting them on there because I went on the road trip last year. I wanted to make sure that I was visible at all times. Let me see if I can turn them on for you guys, just so you guys can see the way they look. So as you guys can see, this is the way they look on the vehicle. The Tacoma grill lights are not made specifically for this vehicle, so I did have to use zip ties in order to have them attached to the grill. Also, as you guys can see, it is missing one. It's missing that third one right there because it got water that went inside, and unfortunately that one no longer works. But as you guys can see, that's how they attach. I made a video of me installing these last year, so if you guys are want to check it out, feel free. I'll post a link down below as well. While we're out here, I guess I'll also show you guys my remote start. This is a Viper DS4 Plus along with the Viper, the upgraded transmitter for it. Don't remember the exact name for it, but it essentially allows me to turn my car on and off, unlock it, lock it. Really cool thing. I highly recommend, especially with this Viper alarm system, because if someone actually steals your car, Viper actually pays for your deductible, which is a really cool feature. Definitely recommend you guys to check this out. But basically, as you guys see, I turned it on earlier using this key, but I could also turn it off. So as you guys can see, the car actually turned off using the key. Now, say for example, you turn your car on, someone gets in somehow and tries to take off. The moment they hit the brake, unless the key, this physical key, is inside the vehicle attached, the car will actually turn off automatically. So in order for you guys to get going, once you have turned on the car using your key, you have to go inside the car afterwards. Just turn this once and then get going. If you don't do it, like I said, the car will turn off. So that's a safety feature that it has implemented. I also upgraded the alarm on it as well, so it makes this noise instead of the usual honking noise it makes. So I like that sound a lot better. And with this key too, it actually alerts you if someone hits your car or there's movement detected. So like last night, for example, someone might have hit my car at their door. Someone might have brushed up against my car because the key started going off, and I was actually playing video games with some homies and I didn't hear it, but I saw the lights on this going on and off. Took off my headset and realized that the alarm was going off, so I went ahead and checked it out. Nothing was wrong, but definitely worth an investment. So before we go inside the vehicle, I also have one more thing to show you guys that I actually did to the exterior of this vehicle, and that is I installed rock lights. So as you guys can see, I have rock lights right there. They're by a company called GoV. I'll link it down below. They actually sponsored me a few times, made a video for them, so I'll post a video or a clip of me showing what these look like at night, just because it is way too bright out here for me to show you guys what they look like. So now if you go on the inside of the vehicle, as you guys can see, it is completely stock. I haven't done much to it other than add this overlay where the shifter goes. Carbon fiber overlay, which I think looks really cool. Once again, it is from Premium Auto Styling, so if you guys are interested, make sure to check them out. Linking down below. The thing I really like about the interior too is that it's orange stitching all around. So as you can see, the seats have all orange stitching, as well as the steering wheel. The steering wheel actually has orange stitching, which I think gives it a nice complementary look. We also have paddle shifters on this vehicle, as you guys can see right there. Paddle shifters, definitely fun to play with, especially if you're going on the canyons. I did upgrade the speakers on this vehicle as well to the JBL speakers, so the front and backs are all upgraded speakers. This is the switch for the spotlights, so it actually turns on and off, as you guys can see. I did a video on that as well, so if you guys are interested to see how I made that work, make sure to go ahead and check out the links down below. We also have interior LEDs on this vehicle, again sponsored by GoV. If you guys are interested, I made a video on that as well, so I'll link everything down below. But other than that, the interior is pretty stock, a little bit messy. As you can see, plenty of space. All these seats go down as well, so definitely lots of cargo space. So a little bit messy, but you also have this. Usually comes with the vehicle. In case you guys go grocery shopping, don't have tint like me, you can actually hide everything with this If you guys are wondering, this is actually a dash cam. I actually have a front and rear dash cam installed to this vehicle. Lifesaver actually, because there's been a few instances where I did need to get the footage, which if we take a look, the dash cam is located right there. And it is from Rexing. Definitely do recommend to check out. I'll link everything down below in case you guys are interested. Don't know how well you can see that, but it allows you to connect to your phone so you can actually view everything on your phone, but you can also pull the SD card out. And the thing I like about it too is its sleek look, so it hides behind the mirror. So when you're driving, you can't really see it, and people can't really see it either unless you're looking directly into your vehicle. So definitely it is a front and rear dash cam. Do recommend to buy a dash cam nowadays because you just never know what's going to happen nowadays. So always got to stay protected. This car came with upgraded LEDs as well, so they're all white LEDs. Carbon fiber accents all around the doors, as you can see. This also does support Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, so that is one key feature I do like about this vehicle, is that it actually supports it. Last couple things I'll show you guys about this car. As you guys can see, this is the base model, so it doesn't come with an upgraded color LCD screen down here. Right now I'm averaging roughly about 29 miles to the gallon with these wheels. When I had the stock wheels on this car, I was averaging about 33, so I did go down a bit, but 29 for this vehicle, especially with those tires and the tire setup, I believe is actually a really good still mileage for it. Also got my right passenger Groot right there. Got him from Disney. I don't know if you can still buy them there, but if you can, that's where I got him from. We also have a phone mount for my phone as well. This is from the brand called Scosche. It's just a magnet that goes on the back of your phone, adhesive to your radio, and it just sticks on there. Sticks really well. I've never had it fall off once, and it actually helps out a lot because instead of me having to put my phone somewhere down, it actually just pops up on there. Don't have to worry about it. And even on the most rough terrain, when the car's going like this side to side, it has never once fallen off. So definitely do recommend to buy something like this. So we also have heated seats for the driver and passenger in the fronts. You can go low or high. You also have X mode on this vehicle, which I believe is standard for all the newer Subarus, I believe. It's not the one that comes with the upgraded X mode, it's just the base model X mode, but it's still very helpful to have, especially if you drive through the dirt, if you drive through the snow, or if you're driving through terrain like this and you're going uphill and you need that extra help. You can push this button and the car will actually help you out to avoid excessive spinning and be able to get to your destination. So as you can see, that is everything that I've done to my Subaru in the past year. Obviously, there's still a lot more that we need to work on. Eventually, I think I might drop down to 15s on tire size instead of 17s. That way I can go with a bigger tire. But like I said, it was just too good of a deal for me to pass up on these wheels, so I had to do it. I also want to buy all the underguard skid plates for this vehicle as well. That way, if we ever go off-roading, I don't have to worry about breaking or damaging anything. I want to get the rock sliders as well, just so that way, in case I do go three-wheeling, I guess, one of these days, I don't damage the side skirts. And last but not least, I also want to upgrade the front bumper and the rear bumper to something of a metal, maybe even a winch possibly, in case I ever need to haul myself out of a scenario or pull someone up. I think it'd be really cool. A few things that I dislike about this vehicle, obviously first and foremost, you're not buying this car for power, but it is lacking power a little bit, especially with these wheels. It gets a little bit heavier, so you do have to sometimes give it a little bit more gas, which kind of sucks. So I wish it came with a little bit more horsepower, but other than that, like I said, you're not buying this vehicle to go fast. Like if you want to go fast, you're gonna buy the WRX, the STI, something else. You're not buying this vehicle to go 0 to 60 in like 4 seconds. You're going to 0 to 60 in like 15 seconds in this car. Let me tell you that right now, it is not going anywhere. But yeah, I wish it had a little bit more power, but I'm not really gonna complain just because I knew what I was getting into when I bought this vehicle. A few more things that I dislike about this vehicle actually is the interior. Everything is more of like a plastic finish in here rather than like a high gloss, which I wish I kind of had. When you get in it, you'll realize that everything is just like a matte finish, besides the carbon fiber accents that they added onto it, which I think are really cool, which is why I also added that as well. But I wish they had a more of a luxury feel in here. I know I remember when I went to the dealership, I was talking to the salesman. He told me, look, like Subaru is not a luxury vehicle, you know, it is made more for outdoors. So I kind of get their view on making everything the way it is now. but I wish it did add a little bit more effort onto the interior. One more thing that I dislike about this vehicle is it gets very loud in here, especially with that exhaust. There's a lot of drone on the interior. There is also a bit of a wind noise with the roof rack and with the tire setup, so you do hear a lot of stuff. So I wish they added more like dampening noise, so that way you don't hear as much of the outside, because there are cars where you can sit inside and you don't hear anything from the outside, but with this car, trust me, you do tend to hear a couple of things here and there. So that's another thing I wish they maybe fixed, or maybe did a little bit better job at insulating the noise, so that way you don't hear as much. But other than that, I really love and enjoy this vehicle. I have driven it everywhere. I mean, I live in SoCal. I drove it to Wyoming last year. Literally took us 23 hours to get up there. Didn't cause us any issues. I drove up to Northern California multiple times. I've driven up to the Pinnacles. You know, I drive this car everywhere, and let me tell you, it is a comfy car to ride in. And it does really well in gas mileage. And it's a Subaru. Everybody turns their heads when I'm driving by. Like I said, it's just a good car to have, and especially if you're looking for like an outdoors car, especially if you're someone like me that does a lot of hiking, a lot of national parks, you know, this is a perfect vehicle. You can pretty much fit all your friends in here, fit all your luggage in the back, and if you need to, you can put everything on the roof rack as well. But the more weight you add, keep in mind, the slower this car is going to get. I read a story about some guy who filled up his car with 5 people in the car, threw all their luggage, and then was towing like 800 pounds. And he said he maxed out going 30 miles an hour going uphill, which hopefully will never be me, because I don't think I'm ever going to tow anything in this car, but I really hope I never get to that point. But yeah, it's like I said, it's a very good car to have. So if you're looking for a good car, reliable car, had it for about 1.5 years now, just a bit over a year. And honestly, all I've done is just maintenance work. Like, it hasn't caused me a single issue. Right now, the only issue I have is I have the TPS right there. The TPSM, whatever the called sensor is, because these tires don't have the appropriate sensor inside of them, so I do need to upgrade that or install those later on. But as long as I just, you know, make sure that they're not low on tire pressure every once in a while, I should be fine. But yeah, that's the only thing that is on, I guess, for the dash lights. But other than that, that's pretty much going to summarize my 1 year with this car. Like I said, definitely do recommend. I don't know how many times I can stress it out for you guys. Take it for a test drive. If you guys are really interested, go to your local Subaru dealership, test it out, see what you like about it, see what you don't like about it. Because the way I ended up falling in love with this car is my aunt was looking for a vehicle, so we originally went to Honda, but we were walking to the Honda dealership. We stopped by the Subaru dealership, saw this car, realized that she really liked this car, but she had me test drive all the cars that she was going to buy, because she knew nothing about cars and wanted to make sure that if I approved of it, she was going to approve of it. So I think I approved more of that car than she did, which is why I went back a few months later, ended up buying one for myself. So but yeah, that is going to be everything for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments down below what you liked about it, what you dislike about it. Is this car worth it for you? What other car would substitute, like maybe getting a different version of this car, like the Outback or the Forester, which the Forester I really wanted, but it is way too out of my price range right now. It goes up into like the $30,000-$40,000 price range. This car, just to let you guys know, I bought it for $21,000 last year, right before the whole car market, you know, blew up and whatnot. So right now I think they're selling for like closer to $25,000, which still isn't too bad, I guess, for what you're getting. But if you can find a good deal on it, I say hop on it and buy it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today's video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.